Welcome, everyone, to
Hi.
a place not often spoken of, a place mentioned only in shadows. I bring to you today blood-sucking retards. Alright, welcome, everybody. So, we're doing a Halloween
All right.
I'm gonna try really hard to get this out fast because, man, I've been asleep at the wheel for the past month. By that I mean nearly dying and getting sick every couple weeks. Lundy's been flying around this great nation, creating propaganda films to
Sometimes an
spread
escaper
his
plane.
message of eco-fascism.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt, what became of Matt? Well, he's had his penis stuck inside of a tree stump for the past 3 weeks.
Yep,
Oh,
Took a real
he
long
wanted
time to get him
pound
out of
her
there.
hard.
I'm still in it.
We just moved his computer out there.
No, he ripped it out of the ground. It's on his crotch right now at his table.
Gotcha.
That's what he's balancing his tea on right now. You can go ahead and go get your tea if you want, Matt. I can get everything ready now that you know where we're going. There you go, or is he still?
I'm pretty sure he left to go get.
All right.
Unless he's fucking with us again. Oh,
Did you guys die?
we were waiting
No,
for you to get tea, motherfucker. We've explained what the fuck the premise is, and you said explain the premise so I can go get tea.
By the way, I'm potentially not voting, Lundy.
Why?
I can't find my wallet.
I thought you were gonna say something like, "It's not gonna matter in my county" or some shit. Nah, I literally can't.
Now, here's a potential thing. Some people don't give a fuck in my town, and will just, as long as you give them your name, they'll look it up and be like, "Yeah, I trust you."
That's basically how my town works. Yeah.
So I might not have to actually give my ID.
God, that's so fucking funny.
It is somewhere in my room. I don't know where it's at. I have not
Imagine
had
the
it
future. The future of the United States all comes down to whether or not Go can find his fucking wallet.
Yeah, my wallet is currently in the same phantom zone as my autographed.
And in a
picture.
shocking loss, all Kamala Harris was needed to win was one vote in Kentucky.
State she would absolutely have won normally.
Meanwhile, Goat's just sitting there.
You need certain things for a Halloween special. You need spookiness. You need macabre. You need a monster. And what monster has been more connected with Halloween than the vampire?
Frankenstein?
There aren't a bunch of people who think they're Frankenstein, though, do they, Matt?
Witches? Look, I'm just saying, arguably witches are all more Halloween shit than a vampire.
Okay, so where
I
to
did just see a post
begin?
about Castlevania.
What'd you say?
I did just see a post about Castlevania.
Speak
So
up
now
into the mic, please. I can barely hear you.
Vampires are on my mind because I saw a post about Castlevania.
Why were you looking at Castlevania? Are you on Twitter right now?
I was.
You piece of fucking shit. Pay attention to the show. Hate your... man. Shut up. Hitting me with the double, you fucking cunt. Alright, so where... There are many facets of being a vampire. They're very difficult to understand creatures. Let's see.
Are they?
Somewhat, yes.
You just drank blood turned into a bat. That looked pretty easy.
This person has outlined. This first one is from. Oh boy, this is from sanguinarius.org.
Sanguinarius.org. That's already a good sign.
And this is.
Just gonna go ahead and
Hey, Lundy,
line
I'm
up
sorry.
the Tony Soprano quote because I feel
Tony
like I'm gonna
language.
need that one.
It's only sending it to me as a text file. My apologies. And
Fucking gay.
this person who goes by the name Enigma back in 2004 wrote up this very descriptive understanding of the various types of vampires.
Could you say their name again?
Enigma.
Uh-oh, retard alert! Retard alert, class!
See, I thought he tried to hit me with a censor beep to make it sound like I said the N-word.
I noticed you were pausing there for a bit because you knew I had a couple of ways to go with that.
This is going to be interesting because this is very long, but at the same time, it doesn't look long when you just look at the text file because it's just one line for each entry.
Yep.
Up so
Which makes this difficult to make it extended to the point where it's readable. So I'm going to do a little bit of editing to create extra... Oh, Jesus Christ. Extra space so that I can just read it without having to continuously scroll.
Lundy, I got a question.
What?
I was just wondering if you wanted to hang out with me and smoke weed and fill our bellies with diet soda and play Burnout Revenge for the PS2.
I'd be
One
down.
didn't even match. I'm sorry.
All right, I have done what I need to do in order to make this more readable. So, Enigma has typed up the quote-unquote types of vampires. Some will say that there are two main different methods of feeding on life energy, sanguine and psi, and that all other forms of feeding are subcategories or specializations of psi feeding. Others will say each feeding method is a different form of feeding, hence different quote-unquote types of vampires. Sanguine vampires, or sanguinarians, are vampires who feed by drinking blood. However, it is not the blood itself that they are feeding on. It is the life force energy contained within the blood. Blood drinking is arguably the most potent form of feeding on life force energy, and many sanguinarians can thrive for many weeks from a single feeding. A single feeding is often about an ounce or two of blood taken from a willing donor. I'm sorry.
Do you know blood's evolved 5 different times?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What is this notion that sanguinarians feed only an ounce or two of blood from a willing donor? What is going on?
Look,
We're gonna go over that later.
there's no rules for this shit, so they just make up some bullshit that sounds neat.
It's
comes
not
up
neat. It's fucking it's basically
Lundy.
nothing.
Lundy, this comes up later.
What?
Don't worry. We're gonna go over a whole thing about it.
Sanguinarians often describe blood drinking as a very fulfilling, very powerful, and somewhat intoxicating experience. It also tends to be a rather intimate form of feeding. Psi vampires are vampires that feed psychically on life force energy. Psi feeding in any form can be done from an individual, most often a willing donor. Oh, psis get most often, but sanguine always willing. Always down to get a little bloody.
Shit, I just realized something.
What?
And it's making me mad.
What?
This is just, they're just ripping off what we do in the shadows, and now I want to watch what we do in the shadows.
Or from the ambient energies of a group or a crowd. However, psi feeding can also be done from a person without the person realizing that they are being fed from, although many consider it to be unethical to do so. Generally, though, the person being fed from is not harmed by the feeding in any way. It should be noted that there is no difference between a psi vampire or a psychic vampire, other than the spelling. As for the difference in spellings, the only conclusions I have been able to reach is that psi is an abbreviation of psionic, while psi, PSY, is an abbreviation of psychic.
There's
However,
also the sidekick vampire, but that's more of a variation in martial art training.
it's a much less powerful class you can take in D&D. However, both terms, psionic and psychic, refer to the psychic phenomena. Psi vampires used to be referred to as psychic vampires, but the field of behavioral psychology has co-opted the term psychic vampire to describe a person who has a psychological need for attention and will do whatever they can to get that attention from everyone and anyone and everyone, leaving those that interact with them feeling drained. Psi vampires avoid using the term psychic vampire to differentiate themselves from the behavioral psychology psychic vampires. Some also refer to psi vampires as pranic vampires, derived from the term prana, a Sanskrit term literally translated as life force energy.
You know, I was going to wait to use this, but I got some advice for this guy and probably every other fucking dipshit we're going to read tonight.
Go outside, nerd. Get out. Go. I ain't got time to be distracted by your worthless chime-ins. Go on.
Thank you, baby Billy.
Empathic vampires are vampires who feed on emotional life force energies from the emotions of people. There are those that will say that vampires that feed on negative emotional energies like anger, fear, etc. are negative/chaotic vampires and are a subcategory/specialization of empathic vampires. Others will say that the negative/chaos vampires are separate from empathic vampires. The reason is that empathic vampires will usually feed on whatever emotions a person is feeling without necessarily causing those emotions. However, often, negative/chaos vampires will cause situations where negative emotions and chaotic energies will be stimulated and then feed off of those energies. So they're chaotic evil. Got it. Sometimes.
Just so fucking lame.
And neutral evil is where it's at.
I guess they could be lamer. They could be Star Wars nerds or Harry Potter adults.
I mean, if you want to jump ahead a little bit, Lundy, we do have some.
No, I'm sorry. The next one's it's gonna take me a second. I think there's a reason why this one has the most words.
I think I know which one, without looking back, what it's gonna be.
Sexual vampires are vampires who feed on the life force energies generated from having sex, especially the excess energies generated at the moment of orgasm. This is just someone's fantasies. That's all. Now I'm understanding. The reason why the donors in the first two are usually willing or whatever the fuck. This is just someone having a sexual fantasy about vampires and the various types. That's what this is. This is fan fiction for someone who wants to fuck vampires, which is fine. vampires traditionally, outside of Nosferatu, have always been portrayed as weirdly sexual. So I get it, but I don't understand why you had to write all these fucking weird ass rules.
Well, vampires after Dracula.
They can do so psychically and or from bodily fluids. Female sexual vampires are sometimes referred to as succubi, singularly succubus. I remember when that was a term you used to denigrate a woman. I remember when that was something that you would call like a woman who like hooks up with your friend and then like changes them fundamentally, tells them they're not allowed to have the same interests anymore, says they can't hang out with you anymore, and all those other fucking things. That's what I remember people calling like women who did
Well,
that
guess what,
succubi.
Grandpa Lundy? Times change, language evolves.
Yeah, now succubi is just like a sexy term. Fucking. And male sexual vampires are sometimes referred to as incubi, singularly incubus.
I hate to tell you, but she's a gold digger. Thought you should know. What's something that rhymes with digger? Nah, but you know what? We'll come back to that.
Some will also refer to sexual vampires as tantric vampires. Others will refer to sexual vampires as pranic vampires. We already had pranic vampires. They were in the empathic. There is sometimes debate within the vampire community if referring to sexual vampires as pranic vampires is correct or not, as there is some within the vampire community.
You know what I'd love to happen, Lundy?
What?
Like a gathering, a gaggle, whatever you call these fucking dorks.
The vampire community getting
Yeah,
together.
just a bunch of them together.
Yeah.
And then just a fucking blade comes in.
Yeah. I just when they say vampire, is this like forum? Is this like a like what do they mean by this?
I think these
What
are
do you mean?
people who went a little too into Vampire the Masquerade, Lundy. So, you know.
Well, maybe, but like in Vampire the Masquerade, they're all quote unquote sanguine vampires.
Well, no, like, again, they're not actually, this isn't actually about it. I'm just saying, these are, you know what this is? Remember the Otherkin episode.
They're just like crazy but lame.
Yes. It's like, man,
I mean-
it'd be cool if you did think you were a vampire and you were murdering people, but like, you're
Lundy,
just on
here's
the
the-
internet.
Here's the header for their website, by the way, if you want to.
Sanguinarius.org for real vampires. The foremost real vampire information and resource site on the net, established spring of 1997. This site, excluding the teen vampire section, is intended for mature viewers 17 or older. This is... No, fuck you with the real vampire shit. This is just fetish shit. That is what this most definitely is. I refuse to believe... Man, here's the fucking otherkin. I can't. I refuse to believe they literally think they're vampires. I can't. It has to be fetish shit. It has to be.
There's probably a little bit of fetish shit in there.
I mean, I'm halfway through a fucking entry on sexual vampires, so probably.
They have a section on difference between real vampires and mythical fictional vampires.
Oh, good. Glad about that. Those that support referring to sexual vampires as pranic vampires argue that pranic energies and prana are two different things, and that pranic energies are energies related to sex, while prana is just life force energies. There are those that think the use of the labels tantric and pranic in reference to sexual vampires is an attempt by some within the vampire community at political correctness. Excuse me, sir. It is
God,
2024.
we can never escape this.
It is
Even
2024.
even these cocksuckers are like, The woke new Gen Z vampires.
It is 2024. You will refer to me as a pranic vampire. Thank you very much. If you refer to me as a tantric vampire, I will be triggered.
My clan of vampires are the boogie they thems.
Oh, hey, Matt.
Yeah.
They have a section on their own terminology and lingo, and they do have a
Amazing.
section. They have one for role player, and it says the second definition after someone who plays RPGs. This is often used as a derogatory term for those who play Vampire the Masquerade or similar vampire RPGs, and or who pretend to be a vampire in their free time when they are not. RPGers are also associated with posers and other fakes who dress the part and pretend to be something they're not. See posers and wannabe.
My fucking god. So these are people who are like, no, there's fake vampires for sure, but we're real. Okay, show me. This site was founded in 1997. Show me you guys not aging. You fucks. So, tantric and pranic are the political correctness labels for sexual vampires who feel that the term sexual vampire is derogatory and or offensive, or simply think that tantric and pranic sound better than sexual. However, it is also possible that those who use tantric and pranic when talking about sexual vampires are doing so to differentiate them from any link to behavioral psychology, which seems to also be co-opting the term sexual vampire to describe a person who has a psychological need for attention, much like a psychic vampire through sex. Damn. You're telling me that behavioral psychology is noticing some of the bullshit you guys fucking do to a fucking disturbing degree and describing it as a need for attention? You must be real mad about that. You fucking idiots. Soul vampires are vampires that are able to feed directly off the energy of a person's soul. As a result of soul feeding, soul vampires will sometimes gain some or all of the abilities of the person they are feeding from. Soul vampires will also sometimes receive memories, thoughts, and desires of the person that they are feeding from. Soul feeding is a very intimate form of feeding, even more so than sexual and sanguine feeding. Soul vampires are also sometimes referred to as soul devourers. Fucking goddamn it. Only a matter of time until behavioral psychology co-ops that shit. Elemental vampires. Oh my god. I'm a
you're not
vampire
ready
of fire.
You're not ready for what's coming in a little bit.
This is fucking... I'm sorry. I'm imagining Captain Planet, but they're all vampires.
Captain Planet, he's a vampire. He's gonna drain you down to zero. Remember the AIDS episode? That was really weird. The Arabic rat-coated guy tried to get everybody to lynch that gay kid. It's like, you know, Chad, I think this theme song needs some work. We haven't even done that episode yet.
Elemental vampires are vampires that are able to feed on the life force energies of the elements: earth, wind, fire, and water. Heed my call.
Remember the Hitler episode?
No.
Oh man, it was great. One, they gave Hitler a Fu Manchu mustache. Because apparently they didn't just want to draw Hitler, so they were like, let's make him vaguely Mongolian. And then he's so evil, he almost kills Captain Planet by just standing there.
Some will say that elemental vampires are elementalists who are able to manipulate elemental energies and then convert those energies into consumable life force energies. Others will say that
So they're
elemental
like Avatar the
yeah,
Airbender, but
they're
instead of
benders.
doing cool shit with their bending powers, like, I don't know, fighting people or some shit, they just like, I'll turn this earth into a sandwich.
There are those that will say that vampires that feed on life force energies from plants and animals are also elemental vampires. However, there are those that distinguish such vampires as nature vampires. Another method of feeding, often considered a subcategory or specialization of elemental feeding, is electrical feeding, the indirect feeding on energies in electrical fields and lightning. No, they just stand in lightning. They just get hit by lightning and eat it. Okay.
This is so retarded because it's like, that would just be an energy vampire because most energies are on the electromagnetic spectrum.
Yeah. Others will distinguish such vampires as electrical vampires. Astral vampires. I'm just reminded of the astral war between Islam and witchcraft.
They're trying it now with Trump.
Are they?
Yeah, it's not working. Trump is also a powerful entity on the astral plane, apparently.
Imagine that Trump loses and you have to give the witches credit.
See, I'd rather him win so we can blame the witches and
For sucking at this.
yeah, and correct a mistake.
By the way, Lundy, I want to ask you real quick. Do you want to take a detour to some explanation of hunting or some philosophy?
Explanation of hunting. I swear to God, if we do the philosophy thing, I will lose my mind and want to just die.
Oh, we're gonna get to philosophy. Don't worry.
I know,
That's
but I
fine.
think we should save that for last because otherwise I will just die before we get any further.
We do have some interesting things to go over in between then. Don't worry.
There were a couple more entries, but honestly, fuck them.
It's just more like, this is the doobadoo vampire.
By the way, Matt, I'm gonna grab a water.
Doobas.
I'm gonna grab a water real quick, Matt. You're gonna need to pick up the slack for me. Where I leave the well.
Alright.
I need to do a slight bit of editing on this one, and we're good. Okay.
I'm a guy. Look at me. There we go. I'm in the headspace.
Yesterday, I linked Psychic Predators versus Psychic Vampires to an interview on Graveyard Press and onto a Facebook group. It was brought to my attention that many of our younger readers may or may not understand exactly what hunting is. First, let me post a quote from Belfazar Ashantison. First,
Fuck off.
fuck
Fuck off all the way to the goddamn furthest reaches we have ever observed. Balthazar, I don't even remember.
Ashantison.
Ugh.
First, we do hunt. Each of us in our own way has our own specific type of donor we search for, whether it be by clubbing, going to the laundromat, or perusing the internet, we hunt.
Gee, I wonder which one Balthazar Asmongold is doing.
Second,
The only reason I can remember Balthazar is because that's the name of a cute cat on YouTube Shorts. So that name's already in my brain.
Barbara is correct in her statement that we don't know / can't truly say the people doing these crimes aren't vampires. The only thing we can do is ask the people from the areas where the crimes were committed if the people who committed them were known to them in some way, shape, or form. Did this person attend your local gatherings? Were these people seen in the clubs in your area? Did you communicate with these people? We work as a community by keeping the lines of communication open. Even with those who may not agree with us philosophically, only then can we begin to protect each other. Only then.
Can you imagine?
Hmm.
Like, you're a cop.
Yeah.
You're on desk duty. You're
Yeah.
bored out of your mind. You get a fucking call. And it's one of these motherfuckers being like, hello, I am Balthazar, Bo Balthazar, Fee Fi Fo Felthazar. I have to warn you, Mr. Police Officer, there's a new hunter in the realms, and he is going against all of our rules.
Barry, is this you again? I
Sir,
told you to
this
quit
is
calling.
this is an emergency line. You could get in trouble for wasting our time. Click. And then he's just like, the foolish mortals never listen. This will be a red night.
Barry, this number 4 and 7 pizzas need to go out right now. Come on. Quit dicking around.
Only then can we hope to blur the lines that we falsely set up to divide ourselves from each other. While I understood mainstream people wouldn't understand hunting, I had no idea vampires wouldn't understand. Years ago, before internet and modern niceties, hunting actually did exist. It was a common practice, the only practice, actually. There were donors, but many vampires had no contact with each other. The current vampire community everyone connects with / through wasn't around back then. For many vampires, it was a do-it-on-your-own sort of thing. These young buck vampires don't understand. You can't just go on Tinder no more.
I'm gonna make a controversial statement.
Yeah.
Nothing Stephanie Myers, given 10,000 years, nothing she could write would make vampires lamer than this shit. The Twilight vampires, they are so much fucking cooler than this shit.
It just gives the image of like some nerdy vampire guy just being like, oh no, how to hunt. No one taught me. This is gay.
I've just been eating rats. I got a tum-tum from all the rat blood I've been drinking.
Like prior to the internet, they're all just kind of like off on their own, just like awkwardly hitting on someone. So like, can I bite your neck?
No, you know what happened before the internet?
Hey, baby.
Some motherfucker would be like, I'm a vampire. And it'd be like, what? Get away from me, you creep. And depending on how far back before the internet, we used to have these things called insane asylums for people like this.
True.
But you know what? Pro for Trump being elected again soon. Go bring back the asylums. Why do you think he keeps talking about Hannibal Lecter so much?
Compared to old school vampires, the modern community has a cream puff life.
Wouldn't that be the opposite? Because of, there's things like missing persons databases, like, you wanted to kill somebody in the 1910s and drank their fucking blood. Like, guess what? You can do it. We barely had fucking police.
While donors are still hard to get, there are like-minded people to communicate with, get support from, and many resources to help you learn about what you are. The old school had to set up stuff themselves, including resource pages. Even labels like vampire wasn't exactly universal. There were people that fit it, but didn't call themselves vampires. On another token, though, there were many people that liked vampires, even then, and may enjoy pretending. So, how do you find genuine like-minded people without internet books or other resources? To put it simply, you didn't. Yeah, the internet definitely makes it much more clear who's a real vampire. You fucking retard. In those days, hunting was a common practice, but it wasn't a search and kill activity, more like search, take a little, and release. Pussy vampires!
I'm gonna bum everybody out now with a statement. I'm sorry
Boomer
in
vampire moment.
advance. No matter how afraid you are of dying, imagine how fucking terrified these fuckers will be.
Because they believe they're vampires and they're gonna go to hell automatically or some shit or whatever.
No, because they think they're fucking immortal.
Oh, true.
Like, just imagine that. You have that fucking delusion
They've
so
gotta-
fucking deeply.
They've
And
got to
then
have some
one
sort of
day-
rationalization for aging. They've gotta. They have to.
It's
I
probably
haven't
like
I haven't drunk as much blood recently. My life force is
it's probably like fucking microplastics in the blood, poison in the blood or something.
No, that's what causes them to be this way.
that's the reason we have MAGA goths right now.
God, we should go back to putting lead in gasoline. Like, yeah, it made us more rapey and violent, but that was more fun. We didn't have these dinguses running around.
You find what you need and remain discreet. You keep to the black veil. The black veil didn't exist back then either, but common sense did. Just fucking straight up, just ripping off the masquerade.
No, Lundy, it's the black veil. It's completely.
Fuck you!
It's look, Lundy. It is completely and most importantly, legally distinct from the masquerade. The black veil.
So much gayer than the masquerade too. Fucking me.
And that's a pretty gay name.
Yeah. When tools like internet exist,
I'm gonna have more gay names in a little bit. Don't worry.
internet websites and so forth cropped up, and many vampires left hunting for donor directories and kindred communities. Example: Otherkin.
Remember, this is written by a motherfucker named Balthazar.
Belfazar Ashantison.
Hey, we're gonna read a little bit about somebody that we've already covered in a second.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong, though. There are people that enjoy hunting, finding a good club to drain energy from, or a pretty person to do a little blood play with. For many, it was an activity that harmed nobody.
Then the 80s happened, and it became
We now have
became a lot less safe to play around with blood sexually.
so from here on forward, this is not Belfazar who is posting. This is somebody else. The previous has all been copy pasted from Belfazar on his Facebook, because vampires have Facebook.
Okay, somebody go look up. Somebody look up this motherfucker's Facebook now. I need to know what Balthazar looks like.
So if a vampire uses Snapchat, can they not see their Bitmoji?
Well, it's all digital, so they'll show up on digital.
Unless they're a digital vampire.
In response to Belfazar, I don't necessarily agree that searching for a donor is hunting. I would call it searching. A donor is aware of what to expect and what you are. When you hunt, a person doesn't know who you are, what to expect, or much of anything else. That person is someone you selected out of a crowd because of some favorable trait or characteristic. On top of that, there are other differences. Depending on who you ask, hunting is viewed as both good and bad. In an age of endless resources, it's considered crass and rude. On another token, though, many claim that it exercises skills which is good for anyone. Can't get rusty, can we? It's a teaching tool, as some see it. As for vampire crimes, there are many documented vampire crimes. There are some you've seen on television, then those that remain buried under piles of paperwork or archives. While there's no evidence that any of them were connected to the vampire community, there's a slight possibility. The best we can do is ask around. Vampires aren't superior to everyone else.
Just the quality of sows these motherfuckers are pulling in. Just the biggest, most fucking blacked up fucking goth bitches you've ever seen. They look like that bitch from Willy Wonka if she fell into a blackberry machine.
Vampires aren't superior to everyone else. That's what many elders try to teach younger members of the community. You shouldn't disrespect people or treat them like trash. Their lives aren't less important than yours.
Okay, this is my new favorite part about anything we've read tonight, because you know what this is,
Many
Lundy?
moon ago, the importance of understanding the hyper awareness of the various dangers to the vampire lifestyle.
No, this is to tell people, like, look, you might be a vampire, you might be an immortal creature of the night, but none of this is real. You don't have these superpowers. You cannot rip a man in half. They will fucking beat you up.
The recent vampire craze casts tons of light on real
Many
vampires, though.
moons ago,
The-
the Black Parade came.
That's what they used to call the Trail of Tears for the first
Black
half. of
Parade.
Black Parade. Many moons ago, when I was a young one, my father, he took me to the teepee.
He gave me my first swoop.
This dredges up obsessed young people, which eventually leads to problems. There will be an over-obsessed fan that does something foolish, harmful, and/or dangerous. I blame movies and other media. Thanks to Belfazar, Ashantison, and other comments on Facebook.
It seems the day that all you see is violence in movies and sex on TV.
See, this
Come on.
wasn't really an explanation of what hunting was. It was just we go to the club and find people.
I'm so disappointed.
I was hoping for a fucking instruction pamphlet or some shit. Like, when you go to the club, dress like this or some shit. I don't know.
And I was hoping one of you would be the Peter Griffin to my Lois.
Wow, those good old.
Too late. Don't humor me.
I can change, Matt. Was that the end of it, Lundy?
Yes, that was the end.
Okay, it's not. But okay, so this was to go back to the other one that we were at a minute ago. You did miss a certain other type of vampire.
The cum vampire.
I did go over something that upset you very much.
All right, how much do I
Skip
got
down
to
to
here?
skip down to there are also vampire. That beginning sentence. You don't have to read the fucking stupid bullshit about leeching energy.
Sorry, what is the... Where am I starting?
There are also vampire.
Okay.
You talked about this earlier. This is your main contention, and we have
I'm not saying it in the last one you sent me.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it. I just did a search for it. There are also vampire, nothing. Nothing
And
popping
the
up.
last one I sent you,
Yeah.
you're retarded.
Bitch!
I'm looking right at it, Lundy. Hang on.
I'll fucking...
Here you go, Lundy. I made it big.
No. I'm gonna show you something right now.
Oh no, you don't understand. Look at it. I'm pooping in my diaper right now.
You see that?
Mm-hmm.
There are also vampire is not in there.
And now you share screen. Hang on. This is dueling banjos with Lundy. I'm waiting for you to go live. We're burning daylight.
Where does it start on? Is it the first line, second line, third line? Where, like, how far down am I
It's,
going?
the third one here. This one.
Having pale skin from staying out of the sun.
No, above that.
There are also There are also vampire lifestylers.
Are you looking at yours or mine? I just want to know if I need to
Mine.
slide to the. Okay.
Which are often involved in vampire communities and can often be mistaken for being real vampires. Vampire lifestylers are people that dress and live a life similar to that of mythical/fictional vampires. They try to emulate the Hollywood and fictional image of a vampire as much as possible, having pale skin from staying out of the sun or use of makeup, adopting nocturnal lifestyles, wearing fashions seen in movies, television shows, and described in books, most often gothic, Victorian, and/or leather, and usually in dark colors, wearing fake fangs, wearing wild eyes, contact lenses to make their eyes look vampiric, most often blackout, cat eye, wildfire, red hot, and whiteout styles. adopting the use of old world language patterns, decorating their homes to emulate Gothic and or Victorian styles, resembling the homes/lairs of vampires seen in movies, television shows, and described in books, sometimes including a coffin that they sleep in. Some will even go to the extent of drinking blood, although they have no need to do so. In most cases, vampire lifestylers are regular humans that have chosen to live the lifestyle of a vampire. However, it should be noted that there are also real vampires who choose to live the lifestyle of a vampire. For example, Don Henry from the Sci-Fi Channel's Mad Madhouse.
Of.
They think Don Henry's a real vampire. Oh no.
What the fuck was that?
That was me doing my Sadako noise.
You're gay, man.
That's also me when I'm out of breath and still laughing.
On purpose.
Fucking Therizinosaur sounding motherfucker.
It's also often very easy for real vampires to tell the real vampire lifestylers apart from the human lifestylers. Another group of people that are sometimes involved with the vampire community and mistaken for being real vampires are blood fetishists. Blood fetishists are regular humans who engage in blood play, cutting, bloodletting, and blood drinking, usually, but not always. Usually, but not always, within a BDSM setting. Although blood fetishists will often drink blood, they have no need to do so. There's a disease. I know there is, where you like actually think you need to drink blood. I swear to God there is.
I don't know blood specifically, but Pika's the one where you eat things that are not food.
That's
there
pica.
A disease that makes you think you need to eat blood? Prader-Willi syndrome. Rare genetic disorder that results in a number of physical, mental, and behavioral problems. Key feature of Prader-Willi system is a constant sense of hunger that usually begins around 2 years of age. People with Prader-Willi syndrome want to eat constantly because they never feel full. Hyperphagia. They usually have tiny penises. Okay. Good to know. No, that doesn't. That's not it. That's just people who just can't stop eating because they never think that they have eaten enough. Yeah, pica is the other one. I don't know. I swear to God, because wasn't there a dude who was like a serial killer who thought he was a vampire?
Yeah, there's been a couple.
Yeah. Now they weren't gay like this. They weren't like fucking like I just need a couple ounces. Like they would kill people and like rah, 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 go fucking nuts with it.
You're thinking of Richard Chase.
I think so. Yeah.
He was the one who he murdered an entire family and then put a baby in a blender.
Yeah. The based vampires.
Yeah, the guy who had schizophrenia and thought Nazis were in his soap.
All right. Yet another group of people that try to be involved with the vampire community are perhaps the most despised group of people by the vampire community, role players. The most predominant ones are role players that play Vampire the Masquerade by White Wolf Publishing. However, role players can be anyone who chooses to play the part of a vampire in any role-playing game/RPG. What usually happens is that the role players begin to feel that they are the characters that they are playing. The lines between reality and role-playing become blurred for them, and they begin to think and believe that they are vampires. Which you guys definitely don't do, of course. You can tell the difference. Then they try to get involved with the vampire community and try to pass themselves off as a real vampire. However, they usually immediately expose themselves as role players by using RPG terminology and ideas, such as the different types/races of vampire clans, Brujah, Ventrue, etc., claiming to be immortal. So they don't think the vampires are immortal. They've already built that into their thought process. They're like, no. Vampires aren't immortal. That's not a thing. That's fucking That's gay movie shit. Being a member of a certain clan / house, etc. Or they come to the vampire community thinking that it is all RPG, and then find much to their disappointment that the vampire community is a very real community with a low tolerance for role players. However, it should be noted that sometimes playing role-playing games may trigger the awakening of a latent vampire, and that there are some vampires that also play role-playing games for recreational purposes. Okay, so sometimes they're not real vampires. They just really like playing them in role-playing games, and they come by and they annoy you, and you're like, get out of here, fucking nerd. But sometimes a person playing a role-playing game can discover that they're a vampire, and then they come to you, and you're like, welcome, brother. How the fuck do you tell the difference?
Easy. Fuck you.
Society also tends to misuse the idea of vampires and will sometimes refer to people as being vampires or exhibiting vampiric traits and behaviors. For example, an accountant and or phlebotomist may be described as a bloodsucker. An attractive woman dressed for a night of clubbing may be described as vamping out. I haven't heard that. Whew. Since I was a child. Like a child. Like fucking 8 years old shit.
They call him Vamp. Because he's bisexual.
Yeah. A person in a bad relationship may say that their mate is draining the life out of the relationship. References to feeding, such as we all feed off of each other, incidentally trying to do a Google search using the exact phrase with the quotes. The results are rather interesting, none of them having to do with vampirism or vampires. Yeah, you read The Secret, didn't you?
This chucklefuck knows there's other things besides vampires that drain life, suck blood.
Yeah. The phrase, they are trying to bleed me dry or they are bleeding me dry, often heard during contract negotiations. Are they trying to say they own these phrases? Like everyone else is fucking dumb and they need to stop? Like, they must be a vampire because they stay out late all the time. They are like a vampire. They work at night and sleep all day. However, in most cases, the people referred to in such a manner usually are not vampires of any kind, nor should they be mistaken as vampires. So, all these people, they're not vampires. What is a vampire? How do you know? How do you tell? How do you tell who's a real vampire? Because according to the fucking hunting one, apparently, you guys can't actually tell. You just ask each other, like, hey, you're a real vampire. Did you do this? And they're like, no. And you're like, okay, well, I don't really know if a vampire did it or not. How the fuck do you tell? If you can't fucking tell when they commit a crime, how the fuck can you tell when they're just some fucker on the internet?
You know how, Lundy? If you gotta ask, you'll never know.
It's all vibes. I swear to God. It's just, we vibe well, so you're probably a vampire.
Did that break Lundy finally?
No, it's just the last one. It's the end of the entry.
Oh. Man, these guys suck.
Yeah. Not funny, by the way.
I think it's kind of funny.
I'm going no. I'm going no on that. What do you think, Ghost? Should we move on to the fucking philosophy bullshit?
The grand finale? Oh.
What?
We have a couple short sections, if you don't mind.
They're so gay.
Hey, just look on the bright side. It's a moment to relax before the bad stuff happens.
I
I don't know
guess.
what you're talking about there, Matt. On an off topic, that website you've been looking at, the first one, Sanguinarius Bundy.
Yeah,
Would you like to meet the person who runs it?
sure. Show Matt the picture.
Give me a second.
Yeah, this person's definitely not a poser.
Who the fuck is this queer?
This is the owner of the sanguinaries.com or .org, sorry.
Yeah, that passes.
Here is some commonly known info about me. I'm female. I was born in 1970. I currently live in Topeka, Kansas, USA. I'm a sanguinarian, or blood feeder. I have 2 adorable little black cats, Bat and Boo, and 2 adorable little gray kitties, Munchkin and Scooter. I need to get pictures of them sometime. I like gothic, spooky, morbid things like hearses, graveyards, anything black, black is beautiful, black cats, figurines and statuettes too, gothic music, science fiction, and horror. I'm also a coffee lover. I'm divorced, no kids. I may flirt, but I do not cyber. Bother me about that and you will end up very sexually frustrated and without various cyber parts. I am happily single. I have a remarkably open mind.
Shocking.
Yeah. And some little shreds of insight here and there. If I think that someone is doing something that's evil, I don't bop them over the head with a crucifix and scream bloody Jesuses at them, so relax. I get along fine with Satanists, pagans, Wiccans, atheists, etc. Everyone has a right to believe what they want to. Matt would tend to disagree with that particular notion.
Yeah, so Nazis, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Ku Klux Klan.
I think in Matt's ideal world, you would not be allowed to believe that you're a vampire. You would be shocked until you stop.
Yeah.
With electricity.
What is this injustice? Don't you know I am Sanguinor von Fiddlesticks?
Yeah, okay. Your name is Martha? Your name is Martha.
Release me, Val. Zip, 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 zip.
Ah.
It stops pretending to be a vampire or else it gets the juice again.
I'm the head for the Kansas branch of Shadow Lore. Of course you are. Which is a networking group for vampires, donors, otherkin, fae, elves, dragons, therianthropes, like were creatures, and witches, as well as those who are interested to meet and get to know one another. It is divided up into local/state branches to make it easier to meet and get to know others of like-minded interest in your area. Our Yahoo group is here. I remember the days of
Who
Yahoo
do you think
groups.
this person's voting for?
I don't know.
Really?
I don't know. They believe in voting. They're probably like, oh, mortal affairs. Come on, Matt. That's a serious possibility.
No, they are 100% a Hillary voter in 2016, and they are a Kamala voter now.
She who dares question. I have seen and been shown some things which cause me to wonder. Things that a thinking person can't reconcile. And tell me that I must have faith and accept the things as is an imbecilic cop-out for someone who does not think. I have faith in God, whomever he is, but not necessarily in the one claiming to be God. If I am to be damned for thinking for myself and using my own mind, a mind which God gave me, I might mention, in order to discern things for myself, learn, seek knowledge, and discover the truth of things, or at least seek after it. If I am to be damned for not sitting quietly, but questioning that which is or appears to be, if I am to be damned for not blindly accepting everything I am told as a matter of faith, for merely questioning the word of some higher being, if I am to be damned for that, then by God, let me be damned! Sangi roars.
You know, this is a good time to mention, do you know what original vampires were?
Wasn't it people who had like a fucking condition that made their like eyes red?
No, they were just fucking feral-ass corpses.
Well, no, I know that. I was saying like people were trying to discover who like vampires are, and like the first like thing that they looked for was like people who were like albinos, I think.
No, I'm just saying, there was none of this fucking mystique or
Yeah.
fucking romanticism with them. They were basically undead crackheads.
Yeah. Like back in the day, before vampires were romanticized by fucking Mary
You
Shelley
could
or whatever. the
defeat
fuck.
him by dumping a bunch of fucking corn on your front porch, and they'd count it until the sun came up.
What you would do in order to like fend off vampirism or vampires is when you would bury people, you would like chop their heads off after you bury them and like stick a fucking like big rock in their mouth or some shit.
Oh, there's a bunch of shit they do. Cages,
Yeah.
bury them upside down. Put a siphon on the
And
neck.
gladly, for if those are damnable offenses, then whatever fate damnation is, its alternative would be spending the rest of eternity as the mindless, fawning lackey of a petty, insecure, fascist tyrant. Something I want no part of, if that is God. What do you think, Goat?
So we know she's not a Trump voter.
What do you think, Goat? If God exists and damns me for asking questions, then fuck God. Yeah?
This woman has the same thought process as War Corpse. That's all.
True. Some interests. Archaeology
If
/
we're not
ancient
to-
history.
I'd said that I'd walk my fat ass down to hell.
I find this stuff fascinating. I love learning about ancient civilizations and archaeological finds. Give me books, documentaries, articles on it. I eat them up. My folks have subscriptions to several archaeological magazines, and when I visit them, one of the first things I do is ferret out the latest issues to read. George Orwell's 1984.
This woman's 54 years old now.
I recently reread the book. It's scary to see how much we progress towards the world old George has set forth in the book. I would not survive well in an Orwellian world. I probably should not say that, if someone is bound to remember it when fascists take over. Oh goody, it's room 101 for me.
If I ever get a time machine, I'm fucking shooting Orwell in his fucking chest.
Now, question is, are you gonna do it with tears? Are you gonna like fucking?
No.
Are you gonna be sad about it, or are you gonna be like,
no,
good?
No. The only thing I'm feeling is the recoil of that fucking gun.
The paranormal / Fortean stuff. Ghosts, hauntings, the unexplained, ancient mysteries, aliens, the X-Files, sightings, the Chronicle. Unfortunately, the Sci-Fi Channel canceled the Chronicle so they could show more Farscape.
Oh, fuck you, you dumb
Scowl.
whore.
Parazooology, such creatures as the Loch Ness Monster and Chupacabra, Sasquatch, Yeti, Bigfoot, ancient astronauts, the pyramids, magic, spelled with a K. The list goes on.
Of course.
I want to learn more about Sitchlin and what he has to say. I like listening to Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell and George Norrie.
Of fucking course.
Oh. Documentaries. Not most nature and war documentaries. There's more to history than war. But give me a show about ancient Egypt and I'm in hog heaven.
Fairies and demons.
Learning about how people lived during the time of the Roman Empire, or an archaeological discovery exploring the wreck of the Titanic, or a Spanish galleon, mummies, conquistadors, the Aztec Empire, human behavior and evolution, daily life in the Middle Ages, the development of technology and inventions, Pompeii, the building of the Channel, or other great technological feats, dinosaurs and other prehistoric beasts, space, black holes, and quasars. The list goes on. Titanic. Sunk on her maiden voyage while bound for New York in 1912. She was at the time the largest ship afloat.
Play it, Matt. Keep going, Lundy. Matt, play it.
Wait, play what?
Play the Titanic. Play the Titanic thing.
Oh, I closed my soundboard.
God damn it, Matt! Luxuriously appointed and passengered by many famous, wealthy, and powerful personages, as well as the poorest immigrants and others from all walks of life in between.
Oh, wait, I have a recorder. Hang on.
She was a noble and grand maiden whose existence was cut short far before her time should have been. Both those who perished and those who survived have provided a large wealth of stories and experiences that have been recorded, heard, and passed on to others. It was tragic that so many lives were lost, but it resulted in stricter maritime laws concerning the safety of all passengers. Nope, it's not. I'm not hearing a damn thing.
I gotta push the talk. Fuck.
There we go. For some 80 years she lay, lost but not forgotten, on the seafloor beneath nearly 2 miles of ocean, until Robert Ballard, leading an expedition out of the Woods Hole in 1985, determined to find her, and did. Since then, many artifacts have been salvaged from the Titanic, giving rise to much controversy about violating the sanctity of the gravesite for commercial purposes, for it is a gravesite. I have mixed feelings about this myself. On the one hand, what they're doing is robbing a tomb. On the other hand, many people get to see with their own eyes, sense, and be near objects from on board. Things which no human has laid eyes on in over 80, sometimes 90 years. Pieces of history, pieces of a great tragedy. To be so near, to see with my own eyes, to feel these things, or even a piece of the great ship herself, this has great meaning to me. Science fiction! Until I was maybe around 27 or 28, if you had asked me, I would not have told you that I was interested in science fiction. But after taking a good look at the sort of movies, programs, and sometimes books that I tend to thoroughly enjoy, I
You need to
realized
download the entirety of the Big Bang Theory theme song.
there's no denying it. I like science fiction. Whether it's old Twilight Zone episodes, The X-Files, Star Wars, Star Trek, The Next Generation, The Terminator, Battlestar Galactica, Outbreak, The Matrix, Species, War of the Worlds, the radio broadcast,
Our
Stargate.
whole universe used to be really straight, but then, like 14 billion years ago, a penis started. Wait,
The book
My
I Am
began
Legend by
truly
Richard Matheson.
my asshole
Countless short stories I read as a child. Spaceballs or Independence Day.
My walls, it put my penis in.
I love it. I can't get enough. The future technology, the designs of the spacecraft, entire alien and or future worlds, the sound effects, the alien/human relations, whether at war or at peace, clothing fashions, interior design and decor, the architecture are all quite fascinating. If you absolutely love me and want to send me a gift or something, my birthday is 17th of December, I have a wish list on Amazon.com, which is some items that I wish I could get.
Yeah, that's all we need to. That's all we need to know about.
All right, go. What else we got?
Listen, you know, I dislike sexual assault as much as the next guy. That's some bad stuff. Rape, boo, don't like it. But
That's
Didn't
me.
mean to play that one. Oops.
Hang on 1 second here. I fucking dropped the ball. I spilled spaghetti all over my cock. There we go. Okay. Now, I know what you're thinking. We've looked into a bit of this kind of retarded shit. What could be more?
Fuck you, you don't know what I'm thinking. My mind's an enigma, goat. Nobody knows the machinations that are going on up here.
We talked about stupid words and stupid website names a minute ago, right?
Yes.
Would you guys like to see the Blood Coven?
The Blood Coven?
How dare you?
Shut up, man.
Come on, man.
What would you associate more with vampires than drinking blood at this point?
Being gay.
Being fags.
That's the same thing, but all
Why
right.
are you gay?
This does have something to do with that. What's a gay thing that vampires would love to do?
Blood orgy.
They eat the poo-poo, and they rub it on
Okay.
their chest. We will not
Both
have
pretty
this
close.
sickness in Uganda.
We're both pretty close. The actual answer is poetry.
I know I already played this, but
Why are you gay?
I'll do a few of these. Don't worry, Lundy. Do you hear me okay like this?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, Daddy.
When the stars shine brightly, they appear like perfect little people. They laugh. They sing, with sweet voices echoing like the tinkling of bells. So alluring are these angels of the night, as they fly with wings of the finest silken threads, to take the innocence to meet an early end. Our saviors, our condemnists, beautiful and shining in their wicked glory, as they steal from us the precious thing called life.
I feel like my ears are being raped right now, and I don't appreciate it.
All right. The Vampire Def Jam comedy special is on a little bit of a rough patch. Let's try our next contestant. The Janice Wilkins didn't do that great. Let's try this one by Ashland. Oh, never mind. This is written in gay language. I refuse to even acknowledge as human. This person just wrote a song. Let's try to set a melody
Great.
to it. I await the
No.
awakening of night. It's literally just the same thing over and over again, isn't it? I awake the awakening of night, but time passes so slowly. So slowly. Does it pass at all? There are shadows on the ceiling caused by the candlelight so bright. I try to hide, pressing myself up against a wall. I await the awakening of night. I await the awakening of night. The fear of dying young knocks on the door of my heart. I try to block it out, but it's the only thing in sight. I should have
And I
known the
got
right.
so far, and ugh, can't even fucking. Ugh.
I await the awakening of night. Confusing thoughts swirl uncontrollable around in my head. I can't see what's wrong nor what's right. I don't want to die. I await the awakening in night.
I wish I had more
The
booze.
Story of a girl. Sorry, what?
I wish I had more booze on my soundboard.
We need
Not
more
reading that.
more booze.
I got a Baba Booey though, so
Oh, here's a short one.
that's kind of close.
Breath as cold as night. Skin as chilled as December rain. Eyes of glacial ice. And ice water running through his veins. Could lips on warm skin, hot blood that flow into him. Death is what he did.
That was deserved. Yes.
Life is what he takes. Never covering his tracks, but never leaving anything in his wake. He'll carry
That
your
is ex-
soul with him to the end of time. Sleep now in his arms, for you shall not wake. But be satisfied that you have been loved, for he will be there at your grave, murmuring sweet goodbyes as your corpse That didn't rhyme near the end. Fuck you, Monique. Okay, no wonder it's written by a black person. All right. Once upon a midnight chill stood a man, a beast, an evil thrill. A evil thrill. Dark as night and quick as light, with teeth that pierce skin with ease. Once upon the midnight night, a little girl, sweet innocent, a perfect pearl, with a dress in red and bows of white, a smile, a laugh, a carefree walk. Once upon a night so rare, a long, dark street, a foggy night, a quiet scare, with a rain, wet street that now does dry, a broken down car, a stormy sky. Meet the vampire, meet the girl, meet the street in which they meet. Once upon this street that night, a man took a girl's first right, and as she lay bleeding, a beat, covered in semen and sweat, with a stranger at her feet. She cries, she screams, no, no, stop, please, yells and fights. This rape and attack was not his first, but would be his last. Once upon
Sorry,
a girl,
who wrote this one?
Nigrist. Nigriscent. 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 Once upon the girl once more, thrusting and molesting, calling her a whore. He bites. 1 year later, it is she that is the beast, and another little girl that lay at her. Yeah, this guy's a pedophile.
Well, that proves that Sharon isn't Karen.
We have a couple more things real quick, and then we'll be done. Oh, fuck.
Bye. Have a great time.
This is the big one, Matt. And then we have, I have a special dessert at the end.
What, fucking arsenic?
Anytime, Lundy.
Hey, what do you want me? You didn't leave me anything.
Yes,
Yeah,
I did.
You linked it to me, goat.
Poo pee pee.
You fucking idiot. You
Yeah,
buffoon.
Lundy's never made a
You
slip up.
fool.
Oh, shit. Now Matt can look at it.
All right. The Morality of Feeding by Neurotus. More like Nerdus.
Got him. Yo, you made that guy who's probably only 5% less gay than you look stupid, man. Fuck.
No. I'm actually going to back my friend Lundy. Lundy could have...
He's at least 10%.
Lundy could have a dick in every fucking hole in his body and a couple of new holes that they just made to put dicks in. He would be not even a tenth as gay as any of these vampire fucks.
All right. Almost all vampires, especially those who prefer psi in one form or another, will face a question of morality when it comes to feeding. There are 4 types of conscious food sources for vampires. Knowing, the food source knows what the vampire is.
Uh-oh, Lundy. Do you hear that?
I hear it. I hear a train.
Do you hear that noise?
I hear the train. What's that train?
That's the moral quandary trolley coming along to ruin everybody's day. Unfortunately, there is no switch to fucking put it on a different track. It's gonna hit us.
Yeah, which really makes it not much of a quandary.
You know what I love about the trolley problem, Lundy?
That it was made to make fun of the notion of thought experiments.
Exactly. Because those are my favorite thought experiments. Is like, it's a thought experiment. Thought is in its name, and you're gonna fucking put on the dumbest fucking arbitrary fucking rules to make somebody into a monster. It also confirms that I had the correct answer to the trolley problem the first time I heard it. Tell somebody else, make it their problem. You can't lose the game if you don't play it.
Unknowing, the food source does not know what the vampire is. Willing, the food source is a willing participant, not necessarily knowing what the vampire is. Unwilling, the food source is an unwilling participant, not necessarily knowing what the vampire is. So then, how does morality enter into this? Allow me to give possible examples of each category first. The knowing/unwilling, typically a vampire who primarily uses blood as a food source. They explain this to their donor, who accepts this and willingly gives the vampire blood. In rare cases, one can find psi donors, but they are very rare. Some vampires will also become temporary donors for each other as well. Ah, yes, vampires feeding off vampires. Fucking gay. Knowing or unwilling. Typically, these are awakened people or other vampires who can recognize a psi attack and drain. They know that they are being fed from, but haven't given their permission to do so. In rare cases, this could also apply to vampires to drink blood. However, this also involves legal concerns, not just moral ones. Unknowing/willing. Generally, it is most common in vampires to drink blood to have donors in this area. They operate under the guise of fetishists or simply being kinky. In rare cases, they are people who give off a lot of energy, quote unquote, and claim, quote unquote, to share it with everyone. These people fit into the category for those vampires who use psi as a primary food source. Unknowing and unwilling. In this case, they are the vast majority of feeds psi vampires get. Who just fucking dropped.
No one, you dumb bitch. How's the soundboard? Got him.
No! I should have known because the fucking Discord has new sounds for when people fucking join and leave.
You know you can turn off those Halloween sounds.
Yeah. Including through sex and emotions. The donor is unaware that they are being drained, unaware that the person they are interacting with is a vampire, and as such cannot give permission, making them unwilling. With knowing/willing, I don't see any moral issues with it, and personally, have never had any. With knowing and unwilling, this does pose moral problems for me. or it did. Unless, of course, it was in response to an attack/drain already made. Otherwise, I felt the same way about this as the category of unknowing and unwilling. I have rarely found someone who is both unknowing and willing. I personally never had an issue with it. However, some may have trouble dealing with deceiving their donor, especially if their donor is also a lover. For dealing with this, please see Vampire Relationships when it is written. Like writing fucking books. The biggest moral dilemma was with unknowing/unwilling donors. It took me a very long time to reconcile taking energy from people and not tell them why, or that I was even doing it. I spent years in self-loathing, depression, and disgust. Many vampires go through the same thing on varying levels. Why is this, and how can it all apply to the different categories? We are brought
I can
up
tell you.
as...
Let me put on Dr. Napon's glasses here. It's because you're a fucking freak and you should feel bad about these impulses. Thank you. Welcome to... thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Now get out of here, you vampiric freaks. Man, Trump's getting reelected. Homophobia is back on the table.
We are brought up as humans. In a human culture, or hegemonic logos, predominant worldview.
Oh, Lundy, you'll love this. I got freaky alien genotype banned indie.gg.
Awesome.
It's
an old meme at this point, too.
Yeah, well, not enough of them watched Dragon Ball Z Abridged. And the ones that did tattled on me.
We are taught human values, laws, and morals. These morals dictate that to steal is wrong, to take is wrong, to hurt is wrong, to lie is wrong, to manipulate is wrong. We are taught this and then faced with our vampirism, and we find the two systems in conflict. A vampire must take to survive. Some may call it stealing. Sometimes we hurt as well, whether emotionally by bringing people close to feed from sexually, or using our partners for a side feed, or psychically by damaging their auras during a feed. We also hurt physically through cuts/abrasions made for blood feeding. Many of us also use various forms of manipulation to get what we need when we feed. Those vampires who use blood as their primary food source sometimes find the need to lie, hiding behind a mask of fetishism or kinkiness instead of explaining what they are. What we're left is with the question of, if everything I've been taught is true, then what does that make me? Am I evil? Am I bad? Is what I'm doing wrong? The answer is absolutely and vehemently no! Vampires are predators! We must feed to survive, just like any other predator in nature. Predators are not evil, dark, bad, or wrong for what they do. They simply are. It is necessary in order to rise above the moral questions to recognize this. Until that time, many vampires will still experience self-doubt and loathing. It is not easy. A vampire must exchange a human value system instead of laws for a vampiric value system, while also working within society and not breaking the law. The new system must not make the person a pariah in their mundane community, while at the same time allow them to feed when they need without guilt. It is a fine line, and one that for some may take years to define, and more importantly, accept. In the end, each vampire must do this for themselves. However, here are a few things to keep in mind. You are a predator. A predator is neither good nor bad, moral or amoral. I think you mean immoral. You must live within human society regardless of any distaste for it. You need psi, or depending on your belief, blood, to survive. This is not wrong. You need it. Any guilt you may feel is due to being brought up in a human culture and value system. See this and deal with it accordingly.
Here's the thing, though, about this.
Aside from the fact that it's all bullshit?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, just fucking drink rats.
Yeah.
That sidesteps all of this.
You could drink rats. You could, I mean, I've seen the various different things. Apparently you have the ability to just like fucking eat fire, I guess. I don't know.
Well, this is a different website, so I'm assuming not all of the vampire roles like crossover, right?
Maybe not.
These fuckers probably got some of their own little roles. But that has been clear. Like, he's not saying human blood. They just constantly are saying blood. So it doesn't seem like the source of the blood matters. And if it is human blood, why not become a doctor? You got cover. You can slip some blood packs away every now and then. Maybe even be like, hey, We need to take some blood samples for some test work.
There's also
Like,
the
you
fact of
don't
like
have to actually do the hunt.
there's also the fact this is like this is like when people say we're naturally omnivores and so it's fine for us to eat meat and shit like that. Like it's kind of a little bit on that level when they say you're a predator, you need this, so it's not wrong to feed on someone without them knowing and with them not willing to be fed on because you need it. Like no. You have the ability to consider this. You have the ability to think about it. That's the difference between us and other predator species. Lions don't consider the morality of what it is that they're doing. They don't come up with alternatives. They don't have the ability to converse with their fucking fellow beings and say, "Excuse me, but when you're sick and dying, do you mind if I eat your corpse?" Like they don't have the ability to do that. That's why we don't consider what they do moral or immoral or anything like that. We do. So yeah, just fucking talk to people and ask them if they're okay. Now, I shouldn't be saying any of this because it's all fucking bullshit to begin with, but presuming the truth of your own fucking worldview, you still have an obligation.
Also,
That's a human way of thinking. Fuck you.
well, that is the other thing I was going to bring up too, Lundy. If these fuckers were right, they're not human. Ergo, they should not go by human morality. This is why, like, my favorite thing to say in D&D whenever I'm genociding fucking elves, it's like, elves ain't got humanity. The name's right there. It's humanity.
The reason we call it human morality and things like that in the first place is because we're the only species we know of who have the ability to consider things like this. Who have
Yeah,
the
dolphins
ability.
might be able to. Elephants might be able to, but, you know, they ain't telling us about it, so we're the only fucking yardstick we got.
I will wonder whether or not we can start like whether or not like if fucking I don't know intelligent alien life comes down, they're able to communicate with us. If that like terminology might change.
We'll probably come up with some new words depending on how we feel about the aliens. Like if they're cute and fuckable, then you know we might change it for the better. If they're not,
Okay, speaking of, we're going to go ahead and go over the last bit of this. The vampire classifieds.
oh,
Okay, this is just rapid fire. We're just gonna look at anything here. Just hit the first one you see. Hit the first one. One butterfly. My interest was piqued a few years ago in Virginia. Since then, have
damn it.
been immensely curious about vampire apostrophe S's. Curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back. Feel free to email me with any and all information you would be willing to give and or discuss with me. I am very open-minded, intelligent female in Virginia, and always looking for something interesting. My ICQ number is, and then phone number. Okay, go ahead, Lundy, pick one.
Fun fact, that's a higher IQ than Alakazam in Pokemon has, and that's already a bullshit number.
ICQ, Matt.
That's what ICQ is. It's intelligence.
Oh my god, really? My ICQ must be fucking negative numbers. A raven for you to embrace.
Let me look this up before.
Oh, it's a messenger system, you idiot. All right.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen this one. It looks like an asshole.
A raven for you to embrace. I'm a 21-year-old female, young in years, but a very old, dark soul. I know you hear from mortals seeking to be embraced. I am no exception, but may have a different story. I come from an educated family, and I'm the fourth generation to carry on the tradition and devote my time and energy to this cause. I know you are out there, and I want to learn from you and be embraced if you feel I'm worthy. I know words are cheap, but please give me a chance to prove my loyalty and devotion before you turn me away. These are all very horny, by the way.
My name is Corey, and I'm looking for a female creature of the night to turn my dreams into reality. So if you want to get a bite on life or me, email me.
I mean, literally, that's the next one. A reluctant mortal from Australia. I'm a 22-year-old Aussie guy looking for vampires to drain me and make me your own. If you're interested, email me at Corey. I have pics of myself.
Oh, I just want a vampirist, the didgeridoo I do.
Matt, you're next. Pick one.
What?
A reluctant mortal from Australia. It's right under a raven.
Why is it my turn?
A willing victim. Pick one, Matt. Up.
Go did one, I did one, you do one.
No, you did two. Goat did one. We did
True.
not establish a pattern that I.
Well, it's your turn now. Go.
I was watched about 4 years ago around the time of fall in a small town on the East Coast. If you're out there, email me. There we go. I found the shortest.
Hold on. Ada. Hi, I'm 19, a girl who only wants to know if Lestat Lion Court really exists. If any of you wants to email me, I'll be grateful. I only want to know some things about you.
Just want to talk to a real laughs vampire. Won't be happy if it's an RPGer. I know him when I hear. Just curious. But curiosity killed the cat. Oh well. I really want to ask. Let's
Huh?
get down here. Which fucking
Roll it down a
loser-
little bit more.
which
Okay.
loser do you-
Janos Aldrin. Greetings to all that read this. I am Janos Aldrin. My age, you would not believe.
First off, fuck off, Lundy. Janice. It's Giannis.
Giannis.
Motherfucker never played Soul Reaver over here.
No, I didn't. My
Oh,
life,
you should. It's a good game. I wish they would remake them.
you also would not believe. I am a vampire and have been for a very long time. I was turned against my will in a frenzy of lust and passion, and during my time I sought a cure for my poison for hundreds of years, but no more. I've given up on Christ or God. They do not exist. If they did, I would not be here. I have sought all manner of gods for help in curing me, but they have turned their backs on me, so I turn my back on them. Absolution, redemption.
Was it the 10 years of rape? It was the 10 years of rape.
I seek only damnation in my life of killer lusts, dark desires, and fantastical power. Mortals seeking guidance, kinsmanship, friendship, then please feel free to write. I'm very low. If you do, you will not be disappointed. Yours sincerely, Janos Aldrin.
Meet me at the food court at 3:30.
I look out and you completely missed my favorite one I see right now is I am 32 years old and I've been trying for 22 years to meet a real life vampire. I don't care whether you are female or male. I just want to know all there is to know about vampires. I was a vampire in one of my past lives. Never
That's the
ended such
guy.
end.
This is the guy who
real
really
vampire
is into our Finnegan Wake episodes.
Yeah.
A sweet youth of 32. Dear vampires, I would like to meet you. Please don't drink my blood.
He's just gonna pick a short one again.
Yeah,
There is no
Alexi.
short window, that's
You fucking bitch.
For those listening, go intentionally scroll down to a bunch of fucking paragraph ones.
This is my version of Captain Spaulding and the Devil's Rejects, just being like, all I did was point him in a direction, and off he goes. Quiet fucking.
You know what? I still found the shortest. Alicia, I'm very interested in vampires and wanted to talk to a real one. I really like them. I really like the music of Nine Inch Nails and Marilyn Manson. So if anybody would like to talk, please, please, please email me. Thanks.
Oh, Lundy,
There you
please
go,
do
you
Tim
chuckle
Anderson.
fuck. Adapt, overcome, evolve.
Lundy, do Tim Anderson, please.
Give me a second.
You
Fuck.
see, I'll leave. Yeah, Matt, you can do Angel whenever you're. Go ahead. Go ahead, Lundy.
Your fucking thing's all fucking like loading in for me right now. All right, there we go. I'm 18 years of age. I'm male. I'm looking for a real vampire. Please help. If you are a real one, email and I will tell you where I live. I am looking to become a real vampire. Help me, please. I need to become one. Please help me.
I like that vampire.
Yeah.
So there's this comic.
How you doing
This-
there, little fella? So I've been hearing you've
So-
been trying to drink some blood. Now, my name is Bat Foley. I like vampire Chris Farley.
So there's this Punisher comic. And like the whole thing is like there's a child molester who's talking to a girl online. But spoiler alert, it's the Punisher.
Gasp. Who could have ever assumed?
I like to think that there's a blade on this website doing the same thing.
Do Angel, the first one. I'll go ahead and give it to you.
Oh, this is the blade. This is the most retarded blade ever.
Yep.
I am a girl. I am mortal. Yep.
Let's see here. What do we got? You see anything that's catching your eye?
They can't drink. They can't drink Down syndrome Blade's blood because he eats too much candy, and they'll just lose their
Annie.
feet.
Hold on, Annie. Hi, I'm doing a speech on vampires, and I would like to get some information on some first-hand experiences. Please write if you would like correspond. Right?
I don't know why this one entertains me. Hey there, kids. The name's Angelara, and I'm just a little mortal girl. Well, 20, but still a girl for the most part, who's looking for those with information only about vampires. I'm trying to write a book and want to keep it as realistic as possible. And I love email in general, so write me for the hell of it. Well, I be off. Oh, please indicate where this came from in the subject so I don't delete it by accident. Ciao for now.
Anubis 13. I work with the dead every moment of my life and would like to correspond with the ones who have resurrected. ... I'm gonna take a random scroll down.
I'm sorry. Oh, stop. Damn it. You passed by
Which
him.
one? Which
Roll
one?
up,
Just
scroll
tell
up just a little bit. Fuck. It was a dude like, I'm looking for a vampire by the name of Serena. But like any of them will do, really. I don't know where it was. Fuck. It's gone. I don't see it anymore. There we go. James Apollo. I'm looking for the vampire who calls herself Serena, or any other who would be willing to sit and talk with me to help me learn more about the undead. really, I don't really care who it is. Just someone, please. I just need someone to talk to.
But drag down middle of the page. Let's see. Oh, lordy.
Oh my god. Lordy, it's Nemesis Morty.
I'm a 38-year-old man who has always gravitated towards darkness. I'm looking for a female vampire to show me the path of eternal darkness and erotic splendor.
Yeah,
Like
can
a
you
fucking-
imagine? Can you imagine if vampires were real and this is all they had to work with, and they're just like, Jesus fucking Christ.
No wonder we're a dying race.
Literally every single person interested is like, I'm a college student who's just writing a book on you. So, and then others who are like, I have played Castlevania, and I am looking for a vampire mistress. It's like, God damn it.
Oh, you know what? You want some good ones? Go down to X. I'm telling you, anybody who has an X name and thinks they're a vampire is probably cooking some crazy shit. Oh, you know V works too.
Well, there's a person literally named X.
Elon Musk, maybe?
From back in 2001.
Most honest person on here. I am very lonely and depressed. I am a mortal seeking a vampire. Please help.
God, there was something so kind of endearing and innocent about early internet, you know? My life is full of emptiness and my heart black with sorrow. I await the one who can take me away from all of it. There you go. I read one voluntarily, so
We got a vampire hunter in here. War is coming! Your unholy pestilence shall end today! Nothing cleanses quite like fire!
the shit, is this a fucking salamander?
Brother,
Get me the flamer.
Wait, where do you see him at? I didn't see him.
All near the bottom of your screen right now.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know what? The salamanders would really hate vampires.
I'm just sitting here and wondering if what we call life is supposed to be this way.
Oh,
I
fuck.
mean, there
Lundy.
must be some reason for being alive, hasn't it?
Lundy, what's some fucking 40k names?
Fuck.
Sanguinius. Go.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's a Sanguinius.
How do you spell that?
Fuck if I know. It's a 40k name.
Sainguineous.
No Sanguinius. Damn.
Wolvie over here has got me. Hello, ladies of the night.
Oh my God,
I'm
Lundy.
looking for a vampire to help
Lundy,
start my nightlife off right.
Actually, Lundy, read X. This might actually be Elon Musk.
You're in an Elon Musk voice.
I have no desire to be one of you. I simply desire to know who has been following me for the past few years.
Walken, Tommy Wiseau.
Fuck
That's
you.
kind of how he does sound.
This is how he fucking talks. Kill
I
yourself.
have no desire to be one of you.
I am a
It's-
cute
it's like
19-year-old guy,
Christopher
but
Walken pretended to be a Dracula, ironically enough.
I last saw you when I was a cute 12-year-old. If you are out there, I know what you are. You cannot
can't
hide
hide
forever,
forever.
fucker. That took a fucking turn. I got whiplash. And if anyone reading this doubts the existence of vampires, do not. They are real. They are not the idyllic, beautiful creatures that popular media has shown you. At least, not the three I have encountered. They were normal looking, not hideous nor pretty, but reeked of rotten meat and way too much cologne. If you are at all perceptive, you cannot miss them.
This man
Vampire
now
hunter.
is helping Trump become president.
Yosef the Night Philosopher!
Somebody's got a new NPC name.
Greetings. My name is Yosef, and I am a hunter. But that is not the reason I have submitted this. I wish to meet those clan members who belong to Platonius Seven's clan. I wish to speak with you, and speak with you I will.
The fact that they're using the username takes any of the fucking weight out of this immediately.
Yo, dude, hang on, I gotta go down to the bottom. On Zusana of the 5th level. Hello, I am Zusana. I don't really consider myself a vampire. I do drink blood when I can, but I've been to hell, and I do know what it's like. I am from the 5th level. I have connections.
Wait, look up the name in that fucking Yusef the Night Lord or whatever.
Up on Google or look it up in here.
Yeah, look it up in here.
I'm sorry. Zero over here. I'm a mortal looking for a vampirist lover. She will be entitled to all that I have, including my blood, if she is good in bed. I am 18, a male, and I have brown hair and eyes. My blood is yours. Just email me. All that you have, you're 18.
Hey, man.
You are entitled to my PlayStation 2.
I mean, firstly, that hadn't come out yet.
It's 2001. Yeah, it had.
Nah, like
No, fuck you. Hold on.
Nah, PlayStation didn't come out until like October 2001. So at best, this guy probably has a Dreamcast right now.
PlayStation 2 introduced March 4th, 2000. Fuck you. Die.
You know, it doesn't matter. Nobody could get one, so fuck you.
My brother did, which is why I know you're fucking wrong before I even looked it up.
Well, if he did get it, then you wouldn't have looked it up. You fuck.
I looked it up so that I could say the exact date to tell you to go fuck yourself. You're a bitch.
Well, you know what, Lundy?
Damn, he shot himself.
No, I shot you.
Too late!
Guess I gotta use a bigger caliber on someone of your girth.
Damn, he shot himself again.
Okay, you wanna play this?
You're self-destructing yourself? Matt, you'll only hurt all of Virginia.
No, not Virginia. Please. Have mercy.
Damn, Matt just blew himself and all of Virginia up. I think he shot himself again somehow. I don't know how he did that.
Did you read Hunter, by the way?
No.
I would like to address that off the bat, a vampire would not say that he or she is a vampire for fear of being hunted, by me mainly. And a vampire is a French assented asshole, but a soulless son of a bitch who has almost no emotion and little friends. But there are slayers, and I don't know if they're super strong, fast, and limber, but they are real. So if you really want to be a vampire, rethink your options.
Hunter out here telling everybody, listen, if you become a vampire, people like me are going to come by and stab you.
Just look up.
You know, I know something all of these people have in common. And it's that they heard this sound on a daily basis.
Lundy, you got another one?
Lanath, I am a vampire hunter. I just came upon the knowledge of my past. I am hunting for Vlad, for I would not be here if his damned soul did not walk the earth. I will know it is he who has answered if the description of his 15th century companion and what happened to this person matches my own. However, I need to get my skills back in use. So any damned soul who wishes earned blood from my feel free to take on this not so easy prey. And if you triumph, you will only banish my soul for 18 years. Then I will return. Any and all vampires are welcome to try, but Vlad is my destiny, and Vlad shall be destroyed.
Matt, can you read The Path of Nimrod? Let's consider this a mini Finnegan's Wake.
The Path of Nimrod.
Come on, Matt. It's just this long.
No.
Come on, Matt. Come on, Matt. Come on, Matt. Don't drag your heels into the dirt. This is my least favorite part of the podcast when Matt refuses to play. Is he just gonna sit here in silence until one of us does it? Bundy, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, you talk to him.
Talk to who, Matt? He didn't listen
Yeah.
to me. If he didn't listen to you, he's not gonna listen to me. What? Matt!
No.
Matt! Okay. Read the Path of Nimrod.
No.
Why?
I don't wanna.
Do it anyway. It's funny.
No.
Please.
No.
You can choose next week's topic.
No.
Fuck.
I will double whatever our bet is on the election. And I will also definitely allow the streaming thing to happen.
No.
He's just
All
being-
this for a paragraph.
For a paragraph. Jesus Christ.
It's not even super late. Fucking
My first encounter with vampires occurred about 17 years ago. I am fascinated, and at the same time, I felt pity for those creatures. If it were not for an episode happening just a few years ago, suffice to say I got a taste of what vampirism must feel like, I wouldn't concern
What do you
myself
mean?
further with the topic. But such as it is, I'm not entirely opposed to fraternize with the dwellers of the night. If some spirit wants to share his story, I'm sure to, at least, listen. I might even have some insights to offer from an outsider's perspective. Still, take heed, Dark Ones. I don't take lightly those who let the beast within their breasts roam freely, and with lust befall the sheeps, to whom they feel their shepherds.
yeah, everybody's afraid of the tit beast.
And to those pitiful beings aspiring to such depths of morality, I only hold contempt. Even some still mortal have the wish to become immortal. Either tempted by the power promised by the changer, feeling lost and lonely among humanity, isolated and misunderstood, they project the feelings of their inner self into the fantasy of the hunters, wanting to become part of their life. I cannot understand you. I'm not overly religious and I don't preach redemption, but not one of us is free from sin. But it is the mind that makes the monster. Sometimes we just need to talk about something lest we do it. So think. Decide. The choice is yours. Because those who rage without care and feed will, without thought, are sure enough to end in a pit much darker than their own hearts. Those slaves of blood I consider already dead, not only from within, but also marked for destruction, often enough digging their own grave. So come out of hiding and embrace the help offered as deeply as that first kiss. I myself may only lend you a hand, but open arms are easy to be found. We just have to look in the right places.
Do we got another hunter? I think we do. Let's do one more. Matt, can you do this? This is literally 5 lines.
If you're a Saber son, I am very interested in talking. With kind regards, Soul Hunter. Nigel to Akiratur? Look, I don't know any of that Shazbaz speak at the bottom there.
Let's just bury the lead on and just assume that you just said a racial slur. I think that's a happy medium we can all come to. Hellos all, I am a vampire hunter, slayer, and all I ask is that which is the information about you vampires in general. I won't use it for harm either, I'm just curious.
I'm a vampire. I'm sorry. It's just, even presuming all this bullshit's real, it's so fucking funny for someone to be like, hi, I kill your kind. Can I ask you some questions? I promise I
Hang on,
won't use it
hang
to
on.
hurt you.
And please email me ASAP if you know anything, especially about the harvest or anything. Thank you very much. God bless.
Every vampire reading that got burned when they saw the words "God bless." They cringed and they went. Ah.
All right. I think that's all the important ones to get to here. So, what a happy Hallows Eve this has been. We've been spooked, we've been scared. Truly, I don't think there's any other way that someone could celebrate this season. What do you guys think?
If you think you're really a vampire, go outside during the day.